Since the beginning of humanity, we have always been around the water. We use the oceans and lakes around us for fishing, travel, and even just for drinking. As in human nature, we must explore. Once we establish ourselves on land, we must see what's in our surroundings under the waves. Using the resources from the depths, such as corals and tons of fish, this gives great incentives to keep going deeper and deeper. And as another part of human nature, the military advantage that comes with being kings of the ocean. From ancient times to today, the way we got deeper under the water to swim around has changed drastically. The most basic form of diving that has been around for maybe forever, the snorkel. First ever recorded use of the snorkel was a legend in 500 BC about a Greek sculptor named Sisyphus. The legend goes he was captured by an enemy ship, and he was able to escape by swimming 9 miles with the help of a hollow reed that he used as a snorkel. Skin diving was mostly used throughout time by using only as much air that you could hold into your lungs to go as deep as possible. The problem with this was the amount of time you could spend under the water. You would dive down, and by the time you get all the way to the bottom, you would be almost out of air. The next advancements in underwater exploration was the dive bell, first described in the 4th century by Greek philosopher Aristotle. By using a cauldron turned over and forcing it down over the water, under the water, to store more oxygen so that you're able to replenish and get another breath without having to resurface. As time went on, not many advancements were made in diving technology, as the technology was not advanced enough. The 16th century, the dive bell was used as giant barrels that could fit humans inside of them, so they can replenish their oxygen while exploring the depths. The biggest problem with the dive bell was it was not very efficient at all. When the oxygen would get down at a higher pressure, it would make it less than it would be at lower pressure. The oxygen would be all used up very quickly, and it was better than just using the air in your lungs, but not by a whole lot. By the end of the 16th century is when real advancements in diving technology really started to happen. Europe began making the classic metal and leather diving suits that you would always see. These suits would have a hose that would be pumping air straight down into the diver so they can be underwater for a lot longer. Another advancement came from a French inventor, Sieur Fremont, in 1772. He attempted to make a rebreathing device. It was supposed to work by converting the carbon dioxide breathed out into oxygen, but it did not work. Without the appropriate knowledge, he died and drowned after testing his device for 20 minutes. Other attempts to make a device similar to this, so that you wouldn't have to have a hose to connect you from the surface in order to breathe, were made, but these attempts also failed, and some ended in death. It wasn't until 1925 when Yves L. Pereire and Maurice Fresnez made the first open-circuit regulator design with compressed air tanks. This would be able to supply the user with a continuous flow of oxygen, but this concept wasn't originally made for underwater use. It was first made for smoky rooms with gas, but it was quickly adapted for underwater uses. In 1952, the scuba systems that we know today were first made. An Australian inventor, Ted Eldredge, took the regulator design and took it from a 2-hose design into a single hose design with a 2-stage delivery system. This meant that the diver would receive oxygen at the same pressure as the water around him, and it wouldn't be a continuous flow, making it much more efficient. Sadly, in 2005, Ted Eldredge died of cardiac arrest at age 54. After this, the suits we know today were being made to work with this system and make scuba diving a much more efficient and safe activity. It only grew in popularity as it made it easier for the public to learn and use. Not many changes were made to the suit from then until now. Only changes was how it looks, how easy the system is to use, and how efficient it is. The sport of scuba has only grown from then on to the modern day. Recreational scuba diving is not much different from what it was then. With these systems, we are able to explore these beautiful sights and amazing creatures. And as long as you have the money, the time, and the want to explore and see a new world, anyone can go out and use these systems to open their eyes to the underwater world.